Pause. Can you please read that name again? And I'll go first, but I do need you to say it again.
Sir Shanley McMahon Van Gisbergen.
Thank you. Okay, I'll go first.
I know you got the audio recording of that. Fine.
I know,
Um,
but I wanted it clearer. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Breaking Points, giving you motorsports coverage beyond the checkered flag. And this podcast specifically, just NASCAR coverage beyond the checkered flag. We have truck news this week, more truck news than anything. So we're going to start it off with Tony Bridinger, who is going to be entering in the number 20 this week with McAnally Racing for Watkins Glen. Yeah, that's where we're heading. Yes, I think it's been a long week already, guys. Chill out. Tony Bridinger is going to be in the 20 this week. So, thoughts on that specifically first?
yeah, the number 20 car, or excuse me, number 20 truck is going to have a multi-race schedule. Breidinger's doing Watkins Glen and I think Fall Phoenix, and Mason Massey is doing Richmond. I'm trying to read through his press release. I see it. Okay. Macy will have it for Richmond in the late summer, and he'll also do another few races that are yet to be announced. And Breidinger's two races will be Watkins and um, what did I just say? Watkins and Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I will say for Rackley War, Reidinger finished top 20 and was pretty much on the lead lap most of the day, which doesn't sound like a high bar, but you know, it's much better than what was shown at Tricon last season. So I, I'll take it as a win.
Works. Gabe, you got any thoughts to add?
Yeah, it's similar. Last year definitely wasn't a good showing for Breidinger, but so far she has done pretty well this season. So I'm looking forward to see if she can, take it on to the next level.
Yeah,
Nice.
and Mason Massey, especially, is someone who's been grinding in the lower ranks for a long time. So I'm very glad he's getting an opportunity like this with a front-running team in a national series. I mean, his very first ARCA West start, he won on debut, and he's currently in the thick of the championship battle with his teammates. So he can clearly drive, and I think he's a good candidate to start out on a short track.
I'm sorry. The KSI song just started playing in my head. Um, Now I'm making y'all think about it too. Moving on.
Such a horrible era.
Uh, I'm in the thick of it. I don't know the rest of the words. Anyways, Frank Muniz is also not entering this week because there was a conflict in his scheduling. I don't think it has been announced who's taking over the 33 this weekend yet, right?
I don't think so. I'll double check though. Okay,
Also,
Stephen Malozzi is going to be in the 33.
who is that?
He is a driver who's kind of similar to Mason Massey, who's kind of just ground through the lower ranks. And yeah, he's going to continue to do so in the Team Rayum truck. So
Oh,
yeah,
fire. Love that. So high hopes for the number 33. 33rd place. What are the odds?
I reckon higher than that.
I know, but how funny would that be? It's just it matches the number. I always just think it's funny if a car finishes in the place, you know?
No,
Obviously it doesn't work with all of the cars, but some of them it gets really funny.
I wouldn't want to be Shane Van Gisbergen though.
I wouldn't want to be SVG either, not gonna lie. I wouldn't want to be Sheldon Creed.
Technically, you're finishing ahead at first.
No, you're not even qualifying. You're
True,
going zeros.
true. That's true. Get this man a
Or
true.
who's the double zero now? Is that technically Cole Custer? Or who would be the double zero?
Well,
Or
well,
is that
double zero Sheldon Creed.
it is Creed?
Yeah,
Okay, why am I mixing these up right now? Then
It-
who's the normal zero?
it's a
Garrett
split.
Smith, you know.
It's not full time, but it's mostly Garrett Smithley.
Ah, paperclip car. Love it. I mix up all these numbers. It's incredible. So, next one, if my phone would load, that would be sick. Destiny Spurlock is making her Truck Series debut in the number 69. We were just talking about this before recording, but let's revamp that. Thoughts, guys?
I'll let Gabriel go first.
Um. Uh. Yeah. That's a awfully awkward long pause, but
I'll cut the pause down, don't worry.
yeah.
No,
It's
don't cut it down.
Okay, I
it's
won't.
sorry. It's a good opportunity. It's a good opportunity. It's a good um. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my English ability, um, as as the time flies by. It's it's gonna be pretty good. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm having a bad day right now.
Valid. Sean?
What a swig of beer afterwards is so fitting. First off, second off, yeah, I talked about this a little before we started, but I was skeptical when they first signed Spurlock because I mean, on the surface, a 34-year-old driver making her debut with not even stock car experience doesn't come across as the greatest move. But I will say she's shown that with a team like NBM Garage 66, they should be running around that 25th to 20th range. She's delivered, well, in her first ARCA main start, a top 10, and has been top 10 in, I think, three of her four ARCA East starts. Has shown that she can drive. And maybe it's a little too soon for a truck move now that I'm starting to articulate my thoughts a little bit, but either way, I'm curious to see how she does because she's doing the double header that day too of ARCA main and trucks. So yeah, it'll be a learning day.
I mean, if they're willing to put Cletus in an O'Reilly's race with probably arguably less experience than her, I think a truck series start is okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I see people making that comparison a lot. This is another thing as well that, why is she getting this opportunity, but you're giving shit to, sorry, to Cletus for all of this. But I don't think making three ARCA starts and immediately jumping to a Truck Series Super Speedway and then one of the hardest no apps tracks is equivalent to three ARCA starts where you don't wreck race cars, most notably. Um, and get a truck start at a road course, which already has a more lax approval process. So I'm just saying, like, they're not the same thing, but I fully understand people might be concerned about her maybe not being ready.
I can see it. I think she'll do okay. At least I'm manifesting. I'm manifesting it. Top 20. Hope.
That for
Not caused by a crash.
for a for a second MBM truck, that is ambitious, but I like the confidence.
I you gotta project confidence if you want it. I'm if I speak it into the world, it happens. I have accidentally cursed a lot of people, but I've also helped a lot of people. I predicted both times that Connor Zilish got injured last year on accident. Not on this pod, but I predicted them both times. And it was the stupidest thing I've ever done. And I have not tried it again. So hopefully, this is my manifestation working again. Please and thank you.
For reference about MBM/Garage 66 in the truck series, they've had one top 20.
Who was the driver?
Derek White. It
Who
was
is
last year.
that?
It was last year. I will say it was last year, the number 69 truck at Watkins Glen.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yes, I'm saying there's a chance.
What are the odds? 69's got to come back on this. So Did we want to mention the damn the Hettinger thing? Because I know we're not mentioning the Youngs because that's not worth it.
Yeah, we'll definitely mention Hettinger, because that there's a lot of ramifications that come along with that.
Fire. If you weren't following along for that conversation, I don't know if I'll cut that out. I don't. I really don't know yet. Um, but Joey goes, whoa, Joey Gase Motorsports, number 53, acquires the points from Hettinger Racing, and that's for no apps. Sean, you say there's ramifications?
Yeah, well, first off, it means Hettinger needed that money desperately, so they sold off whatever they could. That doesn't mean they're not going to show up again. They'll probably attempt more races, but they're going to be out for a while, I would assume. This also means Joey Gase Motorsports can open up a third entry for the first time in a few years. And um, I think we've talked about this ad nauseum, and a lot of people have, but Ford and the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, that was the one entry they had left, and now it's gone. So we're gonna have to figure out um, what the future is for Ford.
It's for Dover. That's what one of my friends said. Uh, Literally right after we ended recording last week. So the reason I realized that there was no Fords last week during the wheel was because I had gotten a message from one of my friends saying that. But then right after we ended it, someone else said, it's for Dover. It's funny. I'm laughing at it. Even though these guys are silently laughing, they are laughing. Just vocalizing that for you audio listeners over on Spotify, which you should rate us 5 stars if you haven't already. I don't know if there's a rating system on Amazon Podcasts or iHeartRadio. I don't use them enough to know. But if you can vote, give us 5 stars. Moving into the truck series, unless Gabe, was there something you wanted to say on that?
Yeah, I'll add something before we go. It's obviously a long time coming that Ford was slowly getting pushed out of the nationwide or O'Reilly's. Even back in like a lot of teams left, you know. Before it was they still had Haas factory. They still had a few more stragglers here and there. But then all of them left. They were left. Their best driver was AM Racing with Nick Sanchez, and AM Racing is not fielding a car. They haven't fielded a car for the last what 4 weeks, 4 races or more. I'm not
Something like
sure,
that.
but it's been a while, and it's been the rumor is some big team's gonna buy them out, but it still hasn't materialized. So right now they're out. So is someone else gonna join up and be the third manufacturer, or is it gonna be Chevy all the way? So that's something I think NASCAR has to address sooner than later. Um, Maybe it's gonna come down to two. Maybe it's gonna stay that way, but we'll see. Maybe there's gonna be a comeback, but I'm not that positive on it.
Yeah, I mean, for reference, I mean, 8 years ago in the Xfinity series, they had 11 cars in the Xfinity series, four of which were full time, the 16 and 60 for Roush Fenway Racing, and the 00 for Stuart Haas, and the 22 for Team Penske. And then there were a number of other part-time entries. And now we fast forward to today, and like Gabriel mentioned, there's just nobody left. And it kind of reflects the lack of factory support that Ford is putting into their lower series programs and NASCAR in general. So I'm curious to see how not only just for the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, but how Ford will do in fair in NASCAR in general.
I understand that because it's like I wonder how they're working on bringing people up. I mean, granted, most of the Ford drivers are pretty secure right now, I guess, in Cup. But if you're not bringing drivers up, that's gonna get really messy really quickly. So, yeah. Anything else you guys wanted to say on that, or can we finally move on to trucks?
Let's move on.
Cool. We're starting with who our picks were because as I freaking actually no pause. I did manifest this last week. I just didn't manifest it as much as I wanted to. I spoke it into existence and it happened. Where Carson Hocevar wins the race and Kyle Busch gets second. Gabe and I first and second. Let's go. Why do you look so scared when I say that?
Because I know my pick was probably bad.
I mean, you weren't horrible. You were time adjusted. You still finished in the top 10. You were ninth. He is ecstatic, guys. Just letting you know that. But so that round went to Gabe. Keep that in mind. If I have the blooper, then you'll hear the blooper later, but I don't think you will. Because it was just me telling Sean what happened.
Yeah.
Oh. Huh. Never mind. I just realized something, but we'll talk about that later during the no apps one. So, point is, Carson Hocevar follows up his win in Talladega with a win in the Truck Series. The funniest thing about that was, I'll get into the actual race in a second, but what Carson Hocevar posted right afterwards was saying that he has not lost a race since Talladega. He posted that on like Saturday because he wasn't entering obviously into the O'Reilly's race, but he was like, for races I've entered since Talladega, I have lost nothing. It was very funny considering he had only entered 2 races, Talladega and obviously this race. So it was funny. But that was a very fun race. There was a lot of cautions. If you watched it, you knew. There was 2 red flags and there was overtime. As if they could not jam pack this race anymore. That was an interesting finish. I definitely think at least one of you watched it. Nope,
Uh,
that's phenomenal.
um,
Did you watch the
I
highlights?
I watched the vast majority of it. And I was just
You did watch it, and you just said, "Oh no, I didn't watch it."
yeah, just like rage baiting you. So there's
Fire.
um yeah, it's typical Texas race where instead of good racing and actual quality product, it's just crashes. I mean, I don't know what there is to say. It was pretty compelling up front. There were a lot of comers and goers, but still I just don't like Texas.
I agree with you. I don't like Texas. Um, One thing that I do want to mention that was really unfortunate, Corey Roper, wrecking out literally at the very beginning, or at least getting into a wreck at the very beginning. He went sideways. I think it was like lap 20, maybe something like that. And that was sad. That was very, very sad. Um, and then also around the same time, Kyle Busch got into a whole bunch of problems. Like he pitted like 2 different times under I think that same caution or around there because he kept getting flat tires and still somehow finished in second. Kyle Busch luck in the truck series is unmatched. Why he cannot get that in any other series beyond me. But it was very funny. You got anything to add right now, Gabe? Or do you want me to talk more about all of these crashes?
Um, I'll add something when we start talking about the end.
Okay, cool. Christian Eckes had a battery issue. Um, and they changed it, and he still had an issue. So it was definitely not the battery that was the problem. It was like wiring or something. So that was unfortunate. I mentioned that because I like Christian Eckes. Who else? What else happened that was really funny? There was one thing that happened really funny. Oh yeah. If Caden Honeycutt had won, did you guys see what he tweeted out?
I didn't.
Okay. So Caden Honeycutt, apparently he's from Texas. I did not know he was from Texas. If he had won, he said that he was gonna jump out of his car, go run into the group of college kids that were in the grandstands. If you watched the race, I know you saw those college kids. That corner looked so fun. Maybe it's because I'm a college kid. They looked like they were having fun, and he was gonna shotgun a beer with them. He flat out tweeted that before the race, which would have been great to see. I don't know why. I feel like that would have been so fun. But alas, he did not win. I feel like that's the story of his life this year, as he gets really, really close and then doesn't win. And it's very sad. But it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen at some point. Do we want to play bets for when we think this is gonna happen since we did the same thing with Ty Gibbs?
When Honeycutt's gonna win?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I need to
I'll buy
look
it.
up the truck series schedule
Well,
before we do this.
I think he's gonna win at Charlotte.
Charlotte. Okay. Pause. I gotta write this now. Honey, it. What the? Gabe, you got a thought?
I'm gonna say he wins next race.
You
Watkins
think he's gonna
Glen.
win Watkins?
Maybe. Just a gut feeling.
You
Just
have a
seeing that
feeling.
11 on top back in Watkins Glen. Oh, damn, what? My goodness, I'm losing my speech. Watkins again.
You
Sorry.
know, you know what? I'm not gonna say that one, but I will say San Diego. I don't know why.
Mm.
That's just what my heart's saying. Fire. We'll see who wins that. I'm trying to think. Was there any like straight up mishaps on pit road? I know there was a few mishaps trying to get to pit road and then hitting people into the grass. There was at least two cars that got destroyed because they got pushed into the grass and then the grass destroyed their front ends. Which that was funny, not gonna lie, that it happened twice. The first time it happened was funny. The second time it was not as funny because then it was Justin Haley and I was not having a good time. But I digress. Anyone have any thoughts as we head towards the end of the race? Because Gabe, you have something you wanted to add on the end of the race. Bless you,
Yeah,
Sean.
this is kind of like an overall reflection on the entire weekend, or like basically just on the track. I felt that, I want to shout out Gio Ruggiero. Really strong race he ran. Um, Unlucky that he got loose right at the end there. Um, but the whole week that track was so dang slick, and basically even in Cup, no one had like a solution for it. Right, everyone got loose. Everyone had moments where they got loose, and now whether they were wrecked or not, that's depending on the situation. But it's it's tough to see good racing if there's so much spinning, so much people getting loose, and then you're going to caution every single time. Can't find a good grip, you can't send it. They're just gonna drive conservative, and I think that's kind of a byproduct of that. That's kind of a symptom, actually, that led to like the overall diagnosis that this weekend was kind of boring. Obviously, there were good moments here and there, but I just I didn't like how it ended. Obviously, Carson didn't do anything dirty. Not to say that. I just really wanted to see Ruggiero win that.
I agree with that. And they were literally door to door until the very end. It was so funny. It was so unfortunate. I think they were literally side by side until I think turn 4 of the last lap. And then I think Kyle Busch is what pushed him to the lead at the very end. but I did say that Kyle Busch was going to help Carson Hocevar this week. So, yeah. Um, Sean, do you want to talk about the standings? Because I do have something I want to laugh about for the standings real quick if you are going to move into that. Unless you have
All
something
right.
else you want to add.
Yeah, I'll go into the standings. So Caden
Wait,
Honeycutt leads. What?
can I say how funny it is that Corey Heim is still in the top 10 despite not racing? He's not racing. He's still, I think, eighth or something right now. Anyways, proceed.
Yeah, so Caden Honeycutt leads by 14 over Chandler Smith, who himself leads 19 over Lane Rigg. Gio Ruggiero is 31 back, and then Ben Rhodes moves back into the top five, minus 34. Down to the cut line, Stuart Friesen sits there at 163 points. 8 points back is Jake Garcia, and 9 points back is Justin Haley.
Yippee. Damn, that was straight mango. Ugh, I don't like mango. Um, O'Reilly's. So this was my aha moment. If I had a nickel for every time that Gabe and I finished 1 and 2 this week, I would have 2 nickels. Because what do you mean? We finished back to back in 2 races in a row. Not first and second. Let me mind you on that. We did not have that good of picks. But Sean, you won this week for the O'Reilly's race because you had Parker Retzloff, who was in
Yeah,
fifth. Gabe and I, 16th and 17th. Why were we back to back twice again? That's crazy. No, the
what?
fact that the cup race was 67, followed by 6 and then 7, that was crazy for a while. That was very funny. Also, that's what I said Owen had messaged me. He messaged me about that because I posted that on my story. I love Owen. It's great. It's so funny. But no, Dean Thompson, which was Gabe's pick, in 16th, and the eye doctor for me in 17th. So now you know why I said we were kind of mid on that one. Except Parker Retzloff wasn't. But that O'Reilly's race, I know for a fact at least one of you watched it, besides me. I know for a fact it was not you, Sean. Well, it wasn't Travis. No, it was Gabe.
I,
I know it was Gabe.
see, no, I watched a good majority of it, but I couldn't do the end. I couldn't do the end because I had to
No,
go somewhere. So yeah,
you didn't miss much. You missed Kyle Larson taking candy from babies.
Beating
That
on
is
the
me.
kid.
Yeah, he's beating these kids. I love how we're saying that about Kyle Larson, but we didn't say that about Carson Hocevar. We make that joke about Kyle Busch. We make it about Kyle Larson. We didn't make it about Carson Hocevar.
I think Hocevar kind of gets a pass because he's like
He's the
24
same
or
age.
something.
He's the same age.
So like we can give him like a temporary pass, you know, like
Temporary pass.
like a 3 day pass. You know, you get 2 more races, you get 2 more wins in the truck series, and then you're getting clowned on for that. But yeah, it was an absolute snooze fest. To be
Mhm.
honest, I did not enjoy doing the report on that. I the first stage was just poor. Started off with caution and another caution, and then one more caution, and then finally got to like a 10 to 15 laps of green flag racing, and then it went straight back to stage break, which is another caution, and then you got the long run in stage two, and then Austin Dillon somehow blew up his parts from inside of his car. I don't know what he did, but that brought out another caution, um, which gave Connor Zilish an opportunity to go out and win the stage and lead the way from the beginning of stage 3. And then it's basically green flag until Roger Caruso spun. And then it's Kyle Larson, Kyle Larson, Kyle Larson, and then Kyle Larson wins. Even with Justin Allgaier trying to chase him down. It's just that simple. It's a simple day, and it was a boring day. It was not fun. Um, it's a good win. I'll grant Kyle Larson that it wasn't a bad win per se. But it was a questionable race at best.
Um, you know what? You know what? I agree on that one. And then the only good part about this race, or at least the only part that I remember, is that Brent Cruz won the Dash for Cash. And I think he got third place again. He's stacking up these top fives. If I know for a fact he's knocking on the door of the chase already. There's no way he's not like right under the cut line or even in it right now. Unless
Cruz is. I'll get to him when I talk about the standings, which I'll just do right now, if unless anyone has something to say.
no, it was a boring race. Kyle Larson won. No one
Um,
cares.
yep. The entertainment value of the race reflects the standings. No changes in the top five. Allgaier leads by 121 points over Creed, leads by 167 over Jesse Love, 198 over Corey Day, and then 204 over Brendan Jones in fifth. Down to the cut line is Sam Mayer at 285 points. 8 points back is Ryan Sieg, and then a total of 12 points behind the cut line is Brent Cruz.
See, that's not that far. That's not that far. If he gets a couple more of these top fives, he's gonna be in it. Or if he gets his win. If he gets a win, I mean, no winning, you're in. But he wins, he's probably getting into the chase. And then he has to keep it up. That that's the other part of it. He does have to keep that up. Do we want to just go straight into Cup? Because that O'Reilly's race was really bad.
Yeah, no, not much to say there, except like a few good performances here and there. Brent Cruz, as you mentioned, Reslov. Um, that's it. That's basically it.
Yeah.
There's nothing to talk about.
Yeah. So let's talk about Cup race. Um, First of all, since we started with picks on all of them, I might as well start with the picks on this one. How my pick was the highest of ours makes no sense to me. Because what do you mean Connor Zilish was the top? And we have been talking so much smack on Trackhouse. Our highest was 16th. Which, to be fair, John Hunter Nemechek was supposed to be higher. And then Kyle Busch came in and rammed him into the wall at the very last second, making him finish 21st. But Chad Fincham was nowhere. He finished 33rd. So sorry about that, Sean. But yeah, we didn't even get a top 15 in that one. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Uh, Moral of the story: Chase Elliott gets his second win of the season. I'm not wearing the Chase Elliott shirt. I'm wearing the jacket. I am very proud of my jacket. I'm sorry. I can't really wear the other two because one of them's dead and one of them's retired. But actually, pause. If Jimmy Johnson wins San Diego in the Truck Series and not Ty Majeski, I will wear the jacket.
He could win the Cup race.
Is he entering the Cup race? I thought he was only entering the Truck race in San Diego.
He's doing the Cup race.
Oh, fire. I hope he wins that one instead then. Please win the Cup one instead. Jimmy, if you're listening, Please and thank you. Throw for the truck race, win the cup race. Did I just say throw the cup and win the cup? I don't actually know what I'm saying anymore. Those who are listening, I'm not wearing my headphones for the first time, and I can hear everything, and it's pissing me off. So we're moving into this. It was also a pretty straightforward race. The first stage kind of sucked. Um, I didn't really like the first stage. Um, yeah. Uh, we did have our first Spire Motorsports front row lockout though, so that was kind of cool. Carson Osvar was the pole sitter alongside Daniel Suarez. It did not last long. Carson Osvar did lead some laps, but Daniel Suarez dropped like a rock for a while before coming back. We kind of mentioned that later about how the 6, 7, the 7, and the 7, the 6, 7, the 6, and the 7 were the top three for a while. It did happen at some point, but that's what I want to talk about. I don't. Do you want to talk about Christopher Bell first, actually, and how unfortunate it was that he was leading laps and he was doing so well, and then Todd Gilliland coming in, uh, pretty sure he was a lap down at that point, or was about to be a lap down, and wrecks out Seabell from the lead when Denny Hamlin was also right there. Um, Gabe, would you like to share your despair with our viewers?
I let's. I'm in so much pain, like watching that moment. Uh, it was. I think it was right as Bell overtook Hamlin as well. So if Bell didn't overtake Hamlin, there is a non-zero chance Hamlin would be the one to take that hit, and Bell would have gone on and did some very good things, and maybe at the end he would have done something with the restart instead of what Denny Hamlin did. But I digress. Very unfortunate. Um, that's racing at the end of the day. I'm not happy about it. I'm sure he ain't happy about it. He's probably, I haven't checked the standings yet, but he's probably either close or either very close or already out of the playoff like cut line. So it's dire times for the 20 team, and they are not a bad team. Let's be straight up about that. They're not a bad team. They got good moments here and there. Driving a little bit questionable, but they got good crew. They got good machinery. We just need to get on, get off the get off the slump, and let's just start focusing. Lock in, reset, whatever buzzword you throw in there, whatever sports buzzword you got, just throw it in there, and let's go in Watkins.
And for what it's worth, Bell still has a 49-point buffer to the cut line, but he's 13th in the standings. And the person on the cut line, he's not the worst Gibbs driver. It's Chase Briscoe, who is on the cut. So, I mean, it's a tale of two halves at JGR right now, that's for sure, with Ty Gibbs and Hamlin doing very well, and Briscoe and Bell kind of not being able to catch a break.
I was gonna say, isn't Ty Gibbs only like 1 or 2 spots above Christopher Bell in the standings right now?
Ty Gibbs is seventh,
Where did you say that he was? Christopher Bell?
the 13th.
Oh, 13th. I don't know why I thought he was in 8th this whole time. And I was like, but the 7th and 8th are not close. Um, I do want to point out that the first thing that Christopher Bell said after that crash was golly. That's why I sent that in the chat, by the way. It's a golly, he says. That's my reaction when I get in a car crash. But I feel like it's time we talk about. Oh, I spelt Todd's name wrong in the report. That's crazy. There's 2 D's. My neighbor has 1 D. That's unfortunate. Oh, and that was lap 67, by the way. That happened on lap 67. So that was actually kind of funny because then on that caution, the number 67 pitted on lap 69. The 67 being piloted by Corey Heim. I do have to mention this. He led the second most laps in an open entry car on a part-time schedule. He led the second most laps
He
before
led 69.
crashing. Huh? He led 69.
Yeah, he led
Nice.
69.
Dude is
Nice.
just filled with funny numbers. Like I cannot with this guy. I literally cannot. If I could download the GIF that I sent in our chat, I would put it on here, but it won't let me download anything from our chat. I found a GIF of Corey Heim doing the 6-7 hands. I love how everything in our podcast always comes back to 67. We have been dragging this meme out for so long. Like we've always had something with 67.
Imagine in a year, right? We're still doing this
Episode 67.
podcast, and we're just still doing this meme, and then we got a bunch of kids in the comment section telling
It's
us
not
we're like
funny.
freaking unks or something.
Nah, bro. Not it. We're not unks. You're the unks. But no, Corey Heim was doing a great job leading. And then he crashed. That was, I'm not gonna lie. I was so upset. Because I kind of hoped he would win it at that point. But he didn't. Who am I disappointed in this whole oh wait. So we're not gonna talk about unless you have a specific pit crew that you want to low light. I have an entire pit road I want to low light. Because what do you mean? What do you mean? Briscoe rammed into Kyle Larson. What do you mean? Gibbs blocked Cole Custer from getting into his box. And then Joey Logano runs into Cole Custer and they both retire. And then what do you mean? Hamlin getting boxed in by Connor Zilish. I don't know if my microphone caught all of that, but I'm sorry. What the heck happened on this pit road? And it was only this one. It was only this one caution that everyone just went haywire. So unless you have someone else you want to low light, I don't because there was so many issues on pit road in general. I did not notice anything wrong with the number 12 team, so I can't speak to that. Do you have anyone to low light?
Yeah, I'll say that there wasn't any like particular like, oh, they did really, really bad or something like that. But McDowell's crew kind of gotta lock in, had a slow slop. Jeez, had a
AI
slow stop
flop.
or two here and there. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, it's the whole weekend is marred by mistakes on pit road, people running into other people. Um, yeah, it's not great. Everybody got to lock in. I know it's Texas, but we got to lock in.
John, thoughts about locking in?
Um, Someone who I thought locked in the race was Kyle Busch, who had been running top 10, and even at some points top like legitimately top 5 on speed. And I was like, okay, this anti-street combination's working. And it was working. He was running solidly within the top 15 during that last restart. And then there's no better way to put it. He cleared himself off John Hunter Nemechek on the back straight and um had that damage. And as Nemechek drove by him in turn 3, Busch, it looked like on TV that he turned into John Hunter Nemechek. Busch claims otherwise, but it certainly looked like it. So yeah, Busch didn't. When he shows hope, he was going to take his first back-to-back top 10 run since last summer. Does not come to fruition.
Again, with the luck in the Truck Series does not translate into anything in the Cup Series. I do want to give a low light, and I have never been so happy to be a Kyle Larson hater, except the one week when I decided to make him my 36 for 36 pick, and this dude gets me 3 points. I'm sorry. Dude, you got me worse than Riley Herbst. You got me worse. You got me worse than Cody Ware. What do you mean I get 3 points when you were projected to win? You suck. I'm sorry. You are washed, my guy. And yes, I do blame Briscoe for a little bit of it. I don't care. But on the bright side, I don't have to pick him ever again. At least until next year. If I'm doing it next year, I don't actually know. We'll see what happens. But, he's gone. He sucked, which I was happy about and upset about. It's not like I'm competing against anyone for this 36 for 36. I'm competing against my own expectations. So, yippee. Um, we already went over the standings technically, kind of, unless you want to do a more in-depth version of them.
I'll do what I usually do real quick. So Reddick uh, still leads, but he loses ground to Hamlin and Elliott, who are now 109 and 117 back, respectively. Ryan Blaney is 155 back, and Chris Buescher, with a strong day, is 181 back, fifth in the standings. Down to the cut line, I mentioned it earlier, Chase Briscoe down there at 16th. 7 points behind him is Joey Logano, and then a further 19 back is Ross Chastain.
Yeehaw. So
All
now
right.
we get into the Glen, which is still
hold up.
no.
Yeah. I want before we go, I want to shout out Riley Herbst. Just a random shout out. For whatever reason. This is kind of a funny story because right before the race, I was watching a Ellie Productions video on Riley Herbst versus Corey Heim. If you know, go watch his video. Great guy. But I was watching how like I was reading the comment section how people were just trashing Riley Herbst or something. I just saw a few comments, and then he genuinely drove pretty well. So credit where credit is due. Shout out Riley Herbst. 11th place, 29 points. Pretty good performance.
I still think Corey Haim's better. What? I'm sorry, my dog just started talking to me.
Also, you are not allowing multiple people to present. You gotta turn on
Eugene
presentation.
wants to share. Sean wants to share his screen. I don't want you to share your screen. What if I said that?
We gotta do the wheel.
We have to do the wheel. So
We have to
share
do
it.
the wheel.
We have to
The
do the
big
wheel.
beautiful wheel. It's so beautiful. We gotta do the wheel. Put the wheel up there right
Except
now.
Sean needs to get an ad blocker.
We
Literally
don't get
shut
paid to
up.
show those ads. We literally don't get paid to show those ads.
Literally don't care. All right, I'll get the notable entries for Truck Series. We have Brent Cruz in the one. I'll show you the name I have for Shane Van Gisbergen.
I'm looking. What the Sir Shaley McVan Gisberg Enete.
Sir Shanley McVan Van Gisbergenet. Anyway, so Brent Cruz,
Can you
Shane Van
please
Gisbergen,
repeat that?
Adam Andretti going
That's not
through,
the
AJ Allmendinger, Tony Breidinger, Ross Chastain's back in, Wesley Slimp in the 62, Spurlock, as we mentioned, Zilich in the 71, Nathan Nicholson returns as well in the 76. All right, I'll go
pause.
second.
Pause. Can you please read that name again? And I'll go first, but I do need you to say it again.
Sir Shanley McVan Van Gisbergenet.
Thank you. Okay, I'll go first.
I know you got the audio recording of that. Fine.
I know,
Um,
but I wanted it clearer.
okay. Bailey, you'll go first and I'll go second.
Oh my God. I hate this. I hate this so much.
Ben Rhodes.
Oh,
That's a good pick.
roads on a road course.
Not
Let's
bad.
go.
All right, I'll go second. Give me someone good. Am I getting the debutant? Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Destiny Spurlock. Such an aura name, by the way.
Yeah. Also,
Gabriel.
during one of her ARCA starts, she had like glitter freckles on her face and it was sick.
That was pretty cool. All
Love
right,
it.
Gabriel, you're next.
No whammies, no whammies.
And then it hits me with a damn whammy.
Andres Perez.
Oh,
I don't think that's a whammy
Not bad,
because
not bad, not
he was
bad.
winning top three
that
here
could have been
last year.
worse. That
It's all right. It's all
why is
right.
Hill and Lee so abnormally large
I don't know. That isn't me.
every time?
All right, so the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, Alex LeBay is in the 0, Zilich in the 1, Sir Shanley McVan Van Gisbergen in the number 9, Ross Chastain in the 32. Why are you smiling? Preston Pardus in the 50, and yeah, that's about it. All right, Gabriel, you're first.
And I get. Huh?
Sir Shanley
Okay.
McVan Van Gisbergen.
How do I
I'll
write
tell you
all of
what.
that?
That is bloody lovely.
I'm
That's
writing
actually
the full name. I'm
that is
cutting
a
that out too.
that is
I'm
a
writing
really
that whole
good
name.
pick.
Oh, I spelled
All
it
right,
wrong. That's crazy. That's
I'm
fine.
second. Give me someone good. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Chastain, give me Chastain. Please, 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 please. Blaine Perkins.
You get Perkins.
All right. Let's see who you get, Bailey.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna get the worst of the worst.
Of course you get Chastain.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Whatever.
No way.
Whatever. All right. For
Rip.
the
Ooh.
Cup Series.
Pause. I forgot to mention Catherine Legg is entering.
Yep, I was just about to
Breaking
get
news.
there. Catherine Legg in the 78 and Josh Balicki in the 66. Bailey, you're first.
Ay.
Maybe you'll get Sir Shanley McVan Van Gisbergen at.
I would like. I've already
Josh
had Barry. This isn't fair.
Okay.
Josh Berry
You know what? Actually, I vibe with Barry.
on a road course. Good luck. All right.
Nope. I just said I vibe with him as a person. I didn't mean on this course specifically.
I'm about to get something worse. Don't worry.
Where?
Hit that John Hunter Nemechek right now.
Hit
Oh,
that
come on, go.
Austin Dillon.
I was hoping I would get Almond Dick.
Nope. I
All
actually
right.
have to go. I get to go and fund some of his sponsors, and I don't know how I feel
Gabriel.
about it.
Let's go.
I swear to God, if you get Shane Van Gisbergen again, I'm gonna cry.
Austin Cindric.
Oh,
Okay.
let's see if I can spell it right this time.
It's
We
okay.
got the middest pick possible.
Being mid
Mid
does not
pack.
mean mediocrity.
All right. It's my turn to do the intro.
Outro.
The intro?
Outro.
Y'all want to do the intro?
No. So we're going to Watkins Glen this weekend. There is a high chance of rain on every single day, so this is going to be a very interesting event. The high temperature will be 66 degrees on Sunday, so it's not going to be a warm affair either. Either way, road course racing, a lot of new faces. I'm excited. Bailey's excited. Gabriel's excited. Thank you, and good night. While you guys debate, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Okay. Quick, Gabe, let's Google it. Are you saying my dog's not excited? He literally rolled over just so you could see him. And now
Literally
he's
my.
depressed.
All right, here's the game. I sent you the race.
Rocco, you hear that? He doesn't care about you.